Video opens with a simple animation of a young man, Joseph, wearing a brightly colored coat. He's surrounded by several other young men who look annoyed. So, picture this: you're the favorite child. And not just by a little bit, your dad gives you this amazing, ridiculously colorful coat. And you're having these wild dreams where everyone, including your family, is bowing down to you. Sounds pretty great, right? Well, for a guy named Joseph, it was the start of a roller coaster he never saw coming. Scene shifts to the brothers looking angry. They grab Joseph and throw him into a dark pit. The colorful coat is ripped off. His older brothers weren't exactly his biggest fans. That coat, the dreams, it was all a bit much. So one day, while they're out in the fields, they decide they've had enough. They grab Joseph, toss him into a pit, and sell him to some passing traders heading to Egypt. Just like that, his whole world is flipped upside down. He goes from being the golden child to a slave in a foreign land. You can just imagine the fear and confusion. He had no idea if he'd ever see his family or his home again. Scene shows Joseph working hard in an Egyptian house, looking responsible. Then, a quick animation of a woman making a false accusation, and Joseph being thrown into a prison cell. But here's where the story gets interesting. Joseph doesn't just give up. He works hard, earns the trust of his master, a high-ranking official named Potiphar, and basically runs the entire household. Things are finally looking up until another disaster strikes. Potiphar's wife lies about him, and boom, he's thrown into prison. From the pit to a palace, and now back down to a dungeon. It feels like for every step forward, he's thrown 10 steps back. Scene shows Joseph in prison, looking thoughtful. He interprets the dreams of two other prisoners, a baker and a cupbearer. The cupbearer is shown being restored to his position, looking happy. Yet even in prison, Joseph's character shines. He ends up in charge of the other prisoners. And then there's the whole dream thing again. He correctly interprets the dreams of two of Pharaoh's servants. One gets his job back, the other, not so much. Joseph asks the one who's freed, the cupbearer, "Hey, when you get out, can you put in a good word for me?" But the guy totally forgets. For 2 more long years, Joseph just waits. Final scene, Pharaoh is on his throne, looking worried. The cupbearer remembers Joseph. Joseph is brought before Pharaoh, looking calm and confident. He interprets Pharaoh's dream about cows and grain. Then, the big moment arrives. Pharaoh, the most powerful man in the world, starts having terrifying nightmares. No one can figure them out. Suddenly, the cupbearer remembers the guy from prison. Joseph is cleaned up and rushed to the palace. He stands before Pharaoh and, with incredible clarity, explains that the dreams are a warning from God. 7 years of massive harvests followed by 7 years of devastating famine. He doesn't just interpret the dream. He lays out a whole plan to save Egypt. Final shot, Joseph is shown wearing Egyptian royal garments, standing next to Pharaoh, overseeing massive storehouses of grain. He looks peaceful and determined. Pharaoh is so blown away that he puts Joseph in charge of everything. Second in command of all of Egypt, from a pit, to a prison, to a palace. It's an insane journey, but it shows that even when things look completely hopeless, your story isn't over. Sometimes, the lowest points are just setting you up for something bigger than you could ever imagine.